Welcome to this Commaxx Nordic School. Today is our topic, our new security spot, ZYXEL Networks, and we are really proud of having that new vendor added to the portfolio at Commaxx. We have this agenda for today. I will start with a short introduction and also tell you why actually Commaxx chose ZYXEL. Then we have Jukka Vesa from ZYXEL at Finland to present some new products news and also introduce the team. There has been a lot of new people hired, so that's quite interesting. And then in the end, we of course want to share with you what does all this mean for you as the reseller. We have a lot of benefits and good offers, and also how can we actually support you. So more about that with Jonas Hedquist from Commaxx in Sweden. A little bit background. My name is Skovgaard, and I'm Nordic Business Development Manager here at Commaxx, and I'm responsible for ZYXEL in the Nordic here at Commaxx. I'm located in Copenhagen, and I have a lot of experience in the IT industry. But what I really like to do is to do and work with the value-add reseller, so we together can do different. That's always my focus. And in my daily life, I really worked hard with firewall switches and wireless solutions, and also email protections, cloud backup, and data protections. So that was a little bit about my background. I'm not alone, of course, at Commaxx. Commaxx is actually represented in Scandinavian, and we have our local office in Norway, and that was established back in 1992. And then Denmark and Sweden was established in 2010. So we are actually here, good represented in all areas in the Scandinavian, except Finland. We are more than 45 employees, and we also have more than 600 resellers and hosting providers overall covering in Scandinavia. We are value-add security and we are value-add disty in the security and also in the cloud market. The pictures we have here in the bottom, that is Robert from Sweden, he's the country manager, and we have Christian Ranes in Norway and Jacob from Denmark. So now you know the faces also behind. That's always good. But what should you also know? You also have a local team here at Commaxx who are very dedicated on ZYXEL, and we have Solveig in Norway. It's the first picture here, and then we have Jonas in the middle and myself covering Denmark. I forgot to say Jonas is covering Sweden. That's important. But we are the key team, you can say, on the sales. But of course we are not alone. We have a big support for many of our colleagues you also can go to if needed. I will not go into all of them. I will share the list or this presentation after, so you have all the connections to all the peoples. So a big question here is, why is it that Commaxx actually chose ZYXEL? And that question has been asked for many of your resellers. So I think it's good that we mention why is it actually that we chose to do that. And what we know is that ZYXEL has been in the market for more than 13 years. And they are very recognized and have won a lot of awards. So for us, it's important to work with some dedicated vendors who are somehow known in the market. And we have that feeling around ZYXEL. There is also another reason why, and that's actually because Commaxx has hired employees who has been working with ZYXEL in the past. So we have a good background and also knowledge around it. And most of the partners we still have a good relationship to. So it makes sense for us to do business with them still. And also we see a lot of new partners coming in because there is a gap in the market that no other vendor can cover in the area of what ZYXEL can do. So I forgot to mention actually, if you have any questions or comments to what we are walking through, then please add it in the questions into this webinar, and we will be answering during this webinar. Another reason why we also chose ZYXEL is we have a good knowledge around this security spot in the market from Commaxx. And we simply know how to build a solution and also be comparable with the competitors. And that's actually the main reason why we are here. We are the value add. We can do a different together with your partner. So that explains it. What we also like is that we have one vendor that covers all the infrastructure. So when it comes to firewall switches and wireless, we know ZYXEL Networks can do it all. And that's also a big help. So you don't have to log in everywhere and be in contact with a lot of different vendors, but you only have one vendor to go to on the support and stuff like that. The solution can be sold as a standalone traditional solution or as an MSP. That is the two ways to do it. And Nebula is the key to offer network as a service. And we see this market is heavily growing, and we want it to be simply and easy, and knows that we can work with that very comfortable with ZYXEL. And then again, yeah, we as the value add Disty, we know how to navigate in the market with you as the dedicated partner, because we have been in this market for many, many years. So for us, it's quite easy, I would say. I'm not sure if you have any questions so far. Let me check. Not as I can see, but you are more than welcome to put in anything if you want to ask for something. And if not, I will welcome our next speaker, who will be Jukka from ZYXEL.
Thank you, Maria. If you can give me the presenter rights, I will start.
You will have it right away.
And now you should be able to see my screen.
Yes.
So, good. So hello to everybody from me as well. My name is Jukka Vesa. I'm a senior sales engineer and I cover the Nordic and the Baltic regions for ZYXEL. And I would just like to add a couple of words on the introduction of ZYXEL as well. So we were established in '89, so we do have quite of an extensive history on doing networking equipment from the older dial-up modems to pretty much everything. We also still do quite a bit of LTE modems, VDSL modems, GPON, DSLAM, whatever. We do a whole heap more than just firewalls, APs, and switches. But those are the core part of our business. And we are actually still owned by the person that started the company called Dr. Chu. And something to mention as well is that we do all of our own R&D, software and hardware, and we also manufacture all of our own hardware. So that's something that's very unusual in the line of business we are in, but that does have its clear benefits. Okay, then after ZYXEL and me, we also do have quite a bit of a team behind us. Starting off with our head of sales, Linus Johnson. Then we have a couple of salespersons in Denmark, in Sweden, Norway. The Finnish person, Heikki Mäkelä, is also handling the Baltics. And you can basically see the whole list here. Something to also mention from ZYXEL is that support with us is always free, and we do have local support personnel. So we have Joel covering the Finnish and the Baltic, and he also speaks very fluent Swedish, so he's a backup from Andreas as well. And then Andreas is handling the other Scandinavian or other Nordic countries with a local language support. He speaks Swedish and I think he speaks some Norwegian. So not just English support from somewhere around the globe, but actual local support that we can offer. Okay, then the actual presentation agenda is that first we will go through a top level view on the security features that we have, just common across the range of our gateways. I will just highlight a couple. Then we check our current security portfolio, what the USG Flex devices, which are the most recent series of our gateways, come together with the Nebula solution, then a quick look at our roadmap, and then an introduction to ZYXEL, which is a recently launched licensing platform that will extend quite a bit in the second half of this year. All right, so first to the security features, or the common security features across all of our devices. Something that we actually do fairly well is WAN load balancing and utilizing multiple WAN connections at the same time. And you can already do this at the lower end gateways. So any series gateways that we introduce today are able to do WAN load balancing. We also do support VPN high availability, VTI tunnels, if you need to do some load balancing between VPN tunnels. On VPN clients, especially nowadays that people tend to work from home, we support SSL VPN, L2TP, and L2TP also has an easy use VPN function. So you can basically send out a script to the end user that will just run a script, and all the settings will be provisioned for them. So no technical expertise needed from the end user. We also do support IPsec VPNs with a client. Then just to highlight some security functions, on the firewall we support antivirus, content filtering, application intelligence, and Geo Enforcer, just amongst many others. Sandboxing with machine learning, so the database will be constantly optimized based on the locations of the threats that are seen. And that also helps us to bring down reaction times. So in a traditional format, if we just rely on a local database that is being updated by a third-party vendor, for example, in our cases, we use McAfee and Bitdefender's antivirus databases, the usual delay between the actual discovery for the security house to actually build up signatures and publish them, it is approximately from 1 week to 3 to 4 weeks. And via using the sandboxing solution, we can get that reaction time down to 3 to 15 minutes. So there is a very drastic difference on reaction times. And that's how we are able to react on zero-day threats a lot quicker. Then botnet and anti-malware blocker or a malware blocker, they are meant to protect users from basically entering malicious sites or botnets, and vice versa. Users are prevented, or the gateway is preventing the users to be connected by these sites. IDP is protecting you against incoming attacks, and reputation filter is protecting your users on accessing malicious IPs, DNSs, and URLs. Then just to mention that all of our firewalls also have a built-in Wi-Fi controller. So if you want to do an on-premises firewall and Wi-Fi controller, you can just use the gateway as an AP controller. Then with an add-on license, you can also get hotspot management, but to be honest, in Nebula, the functionalities are quite a lot better nowadays. So we tend to recommend using the Nebula solution for that. Then just a couple of non-security related functions, but link aggregation enables you to combine multiple ports into one to gain more speed and of course resiliency if a single port or a cable goes down. Then high availability, or an HA Pro, is a seamless way to have two devices for failover. So if one of your gateways fails, the other one seamlessly takes over. You will not drop any sessions or IPsec tunnels or anything. Everything will be seamless. The really nice thing about this is that it doesn't require an extra license. And if you are using UTM services, you only need the UTM license for the primary gateway. a lot of the manufacturers, vendors demand that you purchase an HA Pro license, plus you purchase the UTM licenses on both gateways. We don't do that. Ssl Inspection is a way for you to inspect SSL encrypted traffic. It's a very handy solution for a network that has fixed devices. Radius and an AD and actually an LDAP integration, so we can pretty much integrate with all authentication solutions or authentication servers. And we can also do that if they are hosted in AWS or Azure. So we are certified in both of these major cloud vendors. Then to check through the actual devices themselves. So nowadays we divide them into 3 different categories. We have the simplicity, the VPN series, the flexibility, the USG flexes. That means that these devices can be used in either standalone or in the Nebula Cloud solution. So it's up to the user to choose. The ultimate, which is the most secure firewall series that we have, the ATP or the Advanced Threat Protection series. Then just to highlight the major differences between these series. So the VPN series is seen as the basic SPI firewall. It has an opportunity for an SD-WAN solution. The USG flexes, which is kind of the mid-range model, and they can be used in either standalone or in the Nebula mode. The ATPs, which are the most secure and the most powerful gateway series that we have. The main differences in security between ATP and USG flexes is that on ATPs, you have some enhanced features like sandboxing, like IP reputation and DNS filter. And on top of that, the ATPs can leverage from the local database and utilize the cloud database as well, which on the USG flexes, you can either choose the cloud thread database or the local thread database. So it's either or. Okay, so the VPN series, highlighting a couple of functions. They do have the built-in Wi-Fi controller. They are capable of utilizing our SD-WAN solution. On the larger models, you can have device HA, and on the UTM services, you can only have the content filtering and the GeoIP, which is an underlying feature of the content filtering. USG Flex devices are a successor of our older USGs, and compared to those, they have up to 500% better performance, especially when UTM services are enabled. Then as a new feature, we have introduced something called a CDR, or a collaborative detection and response. And that works in cooperation with the AP to identify infected clients within the network and isolate them from online plus from the local clients. So basically, when an infected client is being spotted in the network, we are able to isolate it on a network level. And this is without requiring a local anti-malware client or an endpoint security on that device. So, and that's extremely good on this type of method. Then we also, on the latest release, we introduced more options for two-factor authentication. So nowadays we can offer two-factor authentication on Wi-Fi clients, on wired clients, on VPN clients, and on admin logins. So pretty much any type of login you require, we are able to provide two-factor authentication. So we are able to make that extremely secure. Secure Wi-Fi AP tunnel, another new and a very good feature, is that you are able to have there is more a slide after this, but you are able to have an access point at a remote location, being it your home or a remote office or something like that. And the AP itself is able to create a secure VPN tunnel back to your office. So you don't need to have any VPN clients or anything on your actual devices at that working location. I'll explain a bit more on that later on. Then on the ATP series, it has enhanced UTM functions on top of the ones that are found in USG Flexes, like the sandboxing, like the threat filters that I explained about earlier. Okay, then, double slides, sorry. So if you are familiar with the older USG models that we've introduced, here is where you see a comparison, the performance of the equivalent old series model versus the new model. So you can see that there is a drastic improvement on the performance of the device, especially on UTM functions. The security that you get on the devices is basically you have an 18-1 bundled license, you get everything. You can also purchase a la carte type licenses when you run the devices in a standalone mode. So you can purchase individual services as well. Services that you can get on the USG Flexes are web filtering, intrusion prevention services, application patrol, anti-malware. Email security is currently supported in the standalone, but there will be an enhanced version that will be introduced in Nebula as well. Secure Reporter, which is a reporting, analytics reporting tool for your security gateways. In Nebula, we also do support something called a security profile sync. So basically, any gateway within that organization may have the same or similar security profiles. So you can synchronize as many firewalls as you want with the same type of security profiles. And then the CDR as a new security feature. Okay, so the basic differences in the devices, USG Flex devices, when you run them in on-premises mode or in Nebula, is that on-premises mode, you are able to get that hotspot license and the concurrent device top-up licenses on certain services, but that's on the hospitality pack. In the Nebula Cloud solution, as I said earlier, it has actually quite a bit more in hospitality management than what the standalone device does. The secure Wi-Fi is an added license on both, but it's just a single license for the gateway, and then you are able to install as many secure APs as the device supports. And you are able to renew as pack or certain services as a la carte, like web filtering, anti-malware, and the secure reporter. Okay, so the USG Flexes were introduced in Nebula early this month. So previously we only had kind of dedicated Nebula gateways. Nowadays the USG Flex models can also be managed via Nebula, which is our cloud managed solution. And you can basically manage pretty much all of our devices through that. And the end goal when introducing any Zeissel devices nowadays is to have them as Flex type devices. So the customer is able to choose whether to run it in standalone or in the Nebula Cloud solution. And other things I would wish to highlight on the cloud solution is that we have no limitation on the amount of organizations, the sites, or the devices you can use, even on the free version. So that's a clear difference from us against some of our competitors. And we are also going to plan to introduce first LTE modems and then a lot of other CPEs in the future, so we can even get more devices under that Nebula control. So Nebula Security. With the USG Flexes in Nebula, we also introduced something called a zero trust security principle, which is a very commonly found in the business, and majority of people most likely know what that is. Of course, that means that we wish to isolate as much as we can and create the network as secure as possibly can. And some of the things and the features that help with that purpose or promise, whatever that is two-factor authentication, as earlier described, security profile sync, so it's very easy to manage your security profiles within that organization. CDR is able to isolate the infected clients so they can't do any harm within your network, and the secure Wi-Fi is able to create secure remote working places wherever your employees might be. So the secure tunnel works in a way that you have a USG Flex gateway at your office currently, or ATPs in the future. So ATPs will also become Nebula compatible. The current schedule is by end of this year. Hopefully that hopefully that pans out. Then you need a certain model of an access point. And then you define on the controller the access point role to be a remote AP, and that's the only thing you need to do. And the gateway, the firewall, will automatically create a secure tunnel to the Wi-Fi access point. So you can basically use the company SSID and the company network from wherever you are located. You don't need to have any extra access code, any extra VPN clients, anything. You just use it as you would be in the office. On top of that, you can also utilize the AP for your own home network. So it will be completely isolated, of course, from the working environment, but you can not only get a good working from home solution, but you can also enhance your home Wi-Fi quite drastically with a proper business level access point at home. Okay, so only certain models, the newer models, support the secure Wi-Fi and the CDR functions, and you are able to see the model of APs on the screen. So WAC 500, 500 and H are the lower end AC Wave 2 models, and then the WAX 510, 610 and 650 are the Wi-Fi 6 models that do support this. Especially interesting model is the 500H, because that is a wall mountable AP that has a built-in switch. So you can not only use it as a wireless access point, a Wi-Fi access point, but also a switch and actually plug in your laptop with a cable if you wish to, or other devices. Okay. So then just a quick overview on the USG Flex devices that we have now available. The spec is of course available on our webpage, but I will just go through kind of the broad lines what these are. So we have the USG Flex 100 and 100W, and the W means that it has a built-in Wi-Fi access point already in the gateway. So it could be utilized, for example, in a small business as a one-device solution. In the AP controller features, by default, we support 8 APs on a local controller, and with an added license, you can unlock to a certain max amount that depends on the device type. On the smaller devices, so from USG 100 and up, you have X amount of fixed ports. So you always have like 2 WAN ports, and well, actually this has 1 WAN port and 1 optional, and 4 LAN ports. So you can utilize the SFP port to a WAN or a LAN port. And once you go up, of course, the amount of ports grow, but you still have the fixed role of the port. On the USG Flex 500 and 700, all the port roles are fully configurable. So basically, you have up to 8 ports and up to 14 ports that you can configure to whichever role you wish. They can be internal, external, general, so you can do whatever type of setup you wish. You can have 12 WAN ports if you wish to. Okay, so then just a quick glance of the product migration. So if you are familiar with the old NSG models, here you see where you should migrate to. So NSG 50 to USG Flex 100, NSG 100 to 200, NSG 200 to 500, NSG 300 to USG Flex 700. And the performance will be improved each and every time you use this path. Then from the older USG series, I won't go through each and every model, but basically from the lower end models, you will go into USG Flexes, and on the higher ends to the ATPs. So ATPs are the most performing series that we currently have. And as an added bonus, if you migrate your older USGs to USG Flex models, we will add that license that you have existing in the old USG to the new USGs. So you can, let's say you have a 6 months of content filtering license left in your older USGs, we will match that as a bundle in the equivalent USG Flex. So I have a USG 110 with 6 months of content filtering, and I migrate to USG Flex 500. You will get 6 months of UTM bundle license as an added bonus. All right, so Secure Reporter is the monitoring, identifying tool for threats. So it will highlight if you have any issues with your network, if you're under attack, or there is abnormal or dangerous user behavior. You can also create customizable reports, either scheduled reports or just manual reports, and you can customize them to look as your own business. So it doesn't need to be, doesn't need to say Zeissel or Secure Reporter anywhere. And it's also integrated into the Nebula Cloud solution, so you can use the Secure Reporter either in Nebula or in standalone mode. Both are good. Then just a quick glance on the roadmap. So this is already in the history. This is what I talked about today. And let's have a quick peek on what we will see in the future. So ATPs will be introduced into Nebula. We will also introduce WAN as a service on Nebula. So basically the SD-WAN services. Then we will introduce our own Zeissel network authenticator. So currently we are using a Google Authenticator on majority of the functions on the solutions that we have now, but we are also going to introduce our own Zeissel two-factor authentication solution. And that is basically the highlights that we are going to come during this and perhaps early next year. Everything is planned for this year, but some of them might be delayed. Then just a quick look on Ssl. So Ssl is something that is very new for Zeissel, and it's a licensing management platform that you can basically use to monitor and renew your licenses. You can renew them from here or from a dist. So basically, Ssl is there to bring in all your licenses from MyZeissel. MyZeissel is our current license management platform, and it's not really up to date and very flexible, so we need a better platform, and Ssl is the answer for that. So you can organize your licenses, your customers get notified when a license is about to expire, so you can contact the customer to renew the license, etc., etc. You can also transfer licenses from organization or a device to another by using Ssl. Ssl is also going to be integrated to Nebula licenses in late September is the current schedule. And then you will be able to manage all of your Nebula environment via Ssl as well. So it's basically one platform for all of Zeissel's licensing. So once that will
Excuse me, Jukka? I can't seem to get the sound right. I lost you. Maybe someone else has the same problem.
Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
now you're back.
Do you hear me now?
Now you're back. Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Sorry, where can you still hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Good. I'm
It
guessing
was
my
just a
microphone
small
got
minute.
stuck. When did you lost me? Did I actually miss explaining something?
No, it's just a small minute or so.
Okay, great. So timing for technical issues was perfect. All right. So do we have any questions regarding the presentation I did?
I actually have one, Jukka.
Go ahead, please.
Can you buy the two-factor solution as a standalone solution?
Yes, you can utilize it as a standalone or in a Nebula Cloud Management. And the really good thing actually is that you don't need to buy it. It's free on both.
Cool. That was a good answer. Thanks.
Yeah, and something to mention as well, since majority of the attendees perhaps are not familiar with Zeissel, is that our support do not require any support contracts, and neither does the firmware updates. So when you buy a Zeissel device, you will have the latest firmware for life and the support for life for no charge at all.
Super good to know.
And also all of our professional level devices, actually with the exception of the firewalls, do have a limited lifetime warranty. So we are extremely confident that they will work longer than they actually are time-wise relevant. And the firewalls will have a 5-year warranty. So we have very long warranties with all of our products, and we are very confident that the hardware will last longer than the warranty.
Sounds good. If
All
no
right.
other questions, I think we should move on with Jonas.
Yes,
So you have to give the presenter rights to Jonas.
I
Yep,
will
I'm
do
ready.
that immediately, and done.
Let's see. Do you see my screen now?
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfectly. Then we go from here. So, my name is Jonas Hedquist, and I'm working as a partner account manager for Nordics at Commaxx, and located at Commaxx is Sweden, as I'm the Swedish guy, if you need to know me. And I've been here for 6 months now, 7 months, I think. And I'm working in the distribution business since 2013 in different roles. So I actually been on another company called Ingram Micro, you maybe heard of it before. And I was a product manager for the old Zeissel, I should say, for 2005, 2006. And this has happened many new things on Zeissel that I'm really, really happy to see. We also talked about this Nebula platform, which is a really good collaboration platform, and the new Zeissel products that's really more hyped up than before. So it's a lot of good things that are happening right on Zeissel. So it's really interesting. So I'm born and raised in cloud, as I always used to say, the MSP, and it will also be MSP program for Zeissel for Nebula in the future. It's coming shortly, so stay tuned for that. So we actually have to talk about this the Zeissel Ally program. As first of all, if you start the program, you're an ally. Then you're going up to silver, and then you go up to gold. That's the 3 simple steps you do. And of course, the requirement for Ally, it's totally free. The only requirement we have there is you doing the basic online sales and solution models. It's really simple, and it don't take too much time to do it. But if you want to climb up higher levels, go into silver gold partner, it's a revenue threshold. It's not so much, I mean, it's 10,000 pounds So it's not much if you start getting a run rate for it. And the requirement is a little bit different there for sales solutions training. We need you to do the advanced online sales and solution model. And of course, we trying to help out from a Commaxx perspective and even from a Zeissel. And the goal is 40,000 and the same requirements there. But actually, you get 2 online certifications for that one and 1 for silver. Let's see the benefit for this. Why should you do it? Why should you climb up to silver or gold partner? First of all, for the that's free. You got everything, but you also got 50 discount on the training voucher, so you can use that instead of pay the full amount for it. The interesting, if you're going up on silver and you start getting a really, really good run rate, you have a discount on the SAP products for 5%. That's being a lot at the end. You will also have this configuration service where we got 1 free config service. And for gold, it's even better. You have 9%, and you also have this MBD service included for all the Zeissel products. And gold partner technology updates. So it's something to look into. So we have talked about this before, but what does it mean for you as a partner to join us right now? Why should you choose Commaxx with Zeissel or another distributor? First of all, we are dedicated and specialized in the security area, and we have been here for a long time. I mean, we have been here in the IT business since 1992. And we are really good at this specialized area, security area. And we have really good sales engineers that working in this area. So it's really easy for us to help us on the technical level and also from a sales level. And we can train and help you out. And we are personally flexible. I know a lot of other distributors say that as well, but we are not a broadliner. We actually have a few vendors that we're working really tight with, because it's really important for us at Commaxx to know the vendors we're working with to 100% and have the knowledge about it. So if you have a question or need help or technical or sales level, we should be there to help you out on a personal level. And we are also very flexible because we are a smaller company that working real tight with the partners. So we will work that extra mile for you as a partner if you are dedicated to really do this. We have fast SLA times, yes, of course, and already talked about this. We have sales engineer, licensed specialized, and business developer like me and Maria that's helping out in Solway. So we actually are kind of unique at these levels beside the others broadliners. So let's go into it. I mean, I'm talking about try it and buy it here. If you don't know the product, of course you're not gonna switch over. If you, for example, have WatchGuard or other vendor, you should not switch over and say, okay, let's go for Zeissel and hope it works. I mean, try it out. We actually have a few of NFR products that you can lab with and try it. And I'm sure ICE at Commaxx will help you out with that to set everything up. Or you also have Jukka at Zeissel that will help you to the knowledge and get into this stuff. So try it out before you buy it. We also have this technical demo and sales training, both from Commaxx and both from Zeissel, to help you out to really know the product well, both from a sales and a technical level. And of course, we also have a marketing department in Norway. We're trying to help out with if you have email blast or something you want to reach out to your end customers, or a campaign maybe for USG Flex or something else. We will help you out in all that kind of marketing campaigns. Sorry. So come on and join us. If you want to become a dedicated partner for Zeissel with us, please sign up on this link below. This is the Commaxx SE, remember that. You just change it to DK or NO if you are that kind of partner, and fill in the form that's in there, and a local representative will contact you at that level. So that's all from me, I think. Thanks. Please contact me or my other guys at Denmark or in Norway to help you out on these levels, to book up a meeting and take the next step with us together. That's all for
right.
us. Yeah.
Thank you, Jonas. That was good. I think we mentioned one very important thing here, because of course we want a lot of partners to sign up to do value add together with us. And for those who are signing up within the next 2 weeks, we will choose one partner from each country. So one from Denmark, one from Sweden, and one from Norway, who will receive an USG Flex 100. And with that said, it's the first time we are actually sharing products for free, but this will not be the last time. So please come and join us. We will look into that database when we need any kind of, you can say, support. We want to go in dialogue on some ideas. We want actually to have a value add group to deal with our stuff and good thoughts around, and also hear what you have for us the other way around. So we can listen to each other.
Good opportunity. Very good.
Exactly. So should we check if there has been any questions in the end? Otherwise, I would say we are
Let's see if they have anything. I can't see any questions at the moment.
No.
So
I think you did it good. So
okay.
No questions. And if not, then you are more than welcome to reach out to Jonas, Solveig, or me, and we will share, of course, this presentation after. Have a lovely, great day.
Have a lovely, great day, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you from me as well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.